Okay.
Oh.
Hello. How you doing? Welcome to Koala on the Root. It's been a while, boys.
Hey, how's it going, peoples?
How you doing, Mr. Koala Bear, a.k.a. Vin?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Mr. Root, a.k.a. Root?
I'm doing good. It's been quite a while since we've had an episode, and my home phone is ringing. I didn't even know.
Get the phone!
Where is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's
Seems like a really bad gag.
I know, right? Some really bad prank call.
President Obama's on the other line.
He can wait. All right, so it's been a while, man. It's been what, like 6 weeks to almost 2 months.
I was gonna say 2 months. Yeah, it's been a while. So talk to me. What's new in your life?
So last time I talked to you, we had a playoff game for lacrosse coming up.
That's right.
We unfortunately did not win that next game. We I think we lost by 1 or 2. It was really close. Came down to the wire, but we just couldn't pull it out. We didn't have a few calls go our way, but that's not an excuse, but it kind of is. So I'll take what I can get. But it was a really fun season. Kids learned a lot. I had fun. I was also glad it's over, though. I get to spend some time with the family now.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, I guess that happened 2 days afterwards. Since Josh had summer lacrosse. Not coach, but drive him around.
Sure.
That's pretty much been most of it. Oh, and Amelia turned 2.
Woo, that's right. Good old Millie.
Meals.
Okay, I want to get this out to our fans here. So Jason revealed to me today that his nickname for his adorable daughter Amelia was Meals. Or what was the other one?
Millie.
I think they're beautiful. I think they're fine. But why not something like Mia?
We tried it. It just didn't fit. It didn't fit her personality. You know, it's like, hey, Mia. It didn't roll off the tongue. It didn't fit. You can't force a nickname, you know?
It's true. That's true. Okay.
Right, Cupcake Schmookums?
I was cleaning. God, you got me. Becky and I were clearing out the office upstairs to turn it into a playroom for Kelsey, and I came across that, and now I got to figure out where I'm going to put it up so it's in a nice place of honor. Maybe
you put it right behind your head for the podcast. That'd be actually really cool.
I'll make sure I have that out for our next recording, and we'll share with the studio audience the genesis of Cupcake Schnookums.
Yeah, we'll save that story for next week. That's your tease for next week, everybody. So you've had a lot. You've had some big changes since the last time we talked.
So Becky and Kelsey moved in after we had our last recording.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So happy to announce Becky and her daughter moved in. They've been regulars to the household for quite some time, but it's officially official now. Summer schedules are a little funny, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's big change. It's fun.
So she will be starting kindergarten in Vernon come.
She was starting first grade.
Oh, first grade. She already had kindergarten. Jeez.
Yeah, she'll be 6 in October. She'll be in first grade, and there's a small chance that she could get into one of the magnet schools, which is where Becky wanted to send her. She was waitlisted, but she's at the very top of the waitlist for the one that we really wanted. I think I forget which one it was. So it's cool. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a big change, but it's fun.
Awesome. Congrats, man. That's great to hear.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, it's been a while, man. I miss you.
I know. We talk. So for the new viewers, listeners, Jason and I, we work together at Pratt, so we talk every once in a while. We still get to chat, but conversations at work tend to be a little bit more stifled than what we can enjoy here today. So yeah, have you gone out to the movies at all lately?
It's been a couple weeks, but I did see Jurassic World.
Oh, how'd you like it?
I thought it was spectacular.
Yeah, I had fun with it. I thought it was really good. I can't believe it's number 3 on the list, though, of all time. Oh, for Moneymakers.
Yeah.
It's
right behind James Cameron.
Yeah, pulled in a big crowd. Hey, so I don't know if we ever talked about this. Did you ever get to see Mad Max?
Never made it out. I'm gonna have to
that's
wait
too
until it
bad.
comes out. I wanted to. It was between lacrosse and the spring, and then the summer. It was like,
Yep,
just
it
couldn't find
disappears fast.
it. It
And those
does.
movies are out only for so long. So,
Yeah.
well, I hope you get a chance to see it. It's still my absolute favorite of the season, maybe of the last couple of years. It's very, very good.
That good. Yeah, I really want to see it. When it comes out, I'll probably rent it on Amazon or Redbox or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it'll be worth your while, I promise.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that coming out.
So what else is new?
Not a lot, but not a lot.
Okay, all right.
It's I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks, which is I'm really looking forward to with the family.
Excellent. Where are you guys going?
We're going to Cape,
Mhm.
so that'll be good. We'll tell you more about that as it gets closer. Hopefully, we get another episode in. Not that much though, but I know you had since our last episode. I'd love to, and I've kind of always wanted to go to one of these. You went to Connecticut Comic-Con.
Yeah. So Becky and I and our two friends John and Abby, we suited up and we went down to ConnectiCon 2015. So people who don't know what that is basically a celebration of nerdness. It's a place to feel right at home if you like any of the stuff that Jason and I talk about. It's more than a comic book convention in that it covers all brands of geek. In fact, comics were probably the least represented. There was a lot of anime. There was a lot of video games. There was a lot of just nerdy stuff in general. A lot of really fun costumes. A lot of great people watching. There were so this is at the Hartford Civic Center. So on the top floor, they have the breakout rooms. So if you've ever been to a conference there, you've probably been in one of those rooms. And there are people giving panels. But this isn't like if you went to San Diego Comic-Con or if you went to the New York Comic-Con where you've got these people giving these really well thought out panels. These people with experience and credentials and the worthiness of giving me a speech. Anybody can give a panel. And so we went to a couple.
If you wanted to, you say, I wrote a comic strip in high school for the high school newspaper. I'd like to talk about it.
So before I go too far, I want to check. Did that happen? Did you want to?
No, I didn't.
All right, just checking. Okay. So
just hypothetical.
Gotcha. So we went to one panel, which should have been awesome. The topic is actually still very interesting. It's it almost seems obvious, but it was drawing parallels between samurai culture, cowboys, and Star Wars in film. But the guy was unprepared. He stammered. He talked less eloquently than I am now. He would misquote the things he had in his presentation. He kind of didn't look at the audience ever. He was just so awkward. And after about 10 minutes, so we took out my phone and started playing. So we started playing Ticket to Ride on my phone because it couldn't do it, right? It was just absolutely terrible. When he passed the phone over to my friend John, he grabbed it with his big meat hooks and he hit the volume up and cranked the volume on the game all the way. And that was the highlight of the entire goddamn panel. That's how bad it was. We made the unfortunate mistake of sitting into the room. So there was no clear escape. We had to walk past the front of the stage, which we did. We eventually got up. We tried to be polite. We waited till he timed a question to the people to our left, and then we got up and we were left off to the right. And so it turns out anyone can give a panel. In fact, the four of us might give a panel next year of our own. We're going to start getting together and talking about this and see if we can make something happen.
Oh, really? Now, do you have to pay to do a panel, or is that something that
not entirely sure?
Sign up.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
There will definitely be a presence of the four of us at Comic-Con next year. We'll likely have a table set up. There's a big vendor area. That's where the celebrities come. George Takei was there.
I saw that on a billboard.
Yep. Nichelle Nichols, the woman who played Uhura. Any number of other nerd favorite actors were there.
Wasn't the voice of Goofy there?
I don't know about that, but the Blue Ranger was there from Power Rangers.
Oh, really?
You're just staring, so I don't know if you've ever seen Power Rangers.
I was the biggest Power Rangers fan. I was a classic Power Ranger fan, though, because, I think it came out when I was in fourth grade, and I'd watch it in the morning, and everyone at school would kind of make fun of it. But I think they were also secretly in it, so I made fun of it too. But I watched every episode I possibly could.
I had a very similar experience. I didn't watch it, but it was always on before something I wanted to watch. And I always put it. That's something I wanted to watch on a half hour early. So I'm with you there, buddy.
Now, this is completely off topic, but not really. But it kind of goes hand in hand with the Power Rangers. Did you ever watch? I don't know if I want to bring this up.
Bring it up now.
Did you ever watch the show The Beetleborgs?
No, but it sounds really familiar.
I'm seeing if I can find it up right now.
Okay.
I loved it. It was very Power Rangers-esque. Instead of having 5, they had 3, and they get turned. If you could
turn into bugs?
They turned into bug. They look. Their uniforms look like bugs, and they each had a different power. And it looks like some of their stuff is actually on YouTube right now, and I might have to actually watch it. They have an episode on YouTube.
Beetleborgs. Is that what you're saying?
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetle. Yeah. Excuse me.
I would wake up every morning, do my paper route, and then when I got home, it was on at like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. Probably 6:30.
We're going down a rabbit hole here, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures of Big Bad Beetleborgs and VR Troopers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was I loved it. I watched every episode. I would literally wake up in the morning, do my paper route, watch the episode that was on. Sometimes they'd have a double episode, and then I'd either go to bed or go to school. But it was so awesome, man. For everyone who hasn't seen it, take a look at it. Check out YouTube. It's
holy crap! Look at that guy Flabber with the white blue face and the big nose.
I know.
Is that Jay Leno? Dude, oh man,
it really does look like Jay Leno, actually.
It's pretty awesome.
So it was really good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It reminds me of the time where I woke up, did my paper route. I would watch Beetleborgs, and I had I would sometimes have ice cream while I watched it at 6 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so tired that after I watched Beetleborgs, I put the ice cream away. And my freezer was one of the top freezers where the fridge is on the bottom, was right next to the microwave.
Oh.
So when I woke up later that day, because I went to bed after I watched the amazing show Beetleborgs, I looked in the microwave and there was ice cream. I was so comatose that I didn't realize the freezer was not the freezer.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, check it out, Ben. It was very Power Rangers-esque.
Okay. I'm going to send you a link to the Japanese show where they took the combat from. You just take a look at a couple of the images of that, and you get an idea of what the show might have looked like in Japan. Probably very, very different story. But all the fight footage, when they jump from being fully revealing their face to being completely unable to see their face, those are all the original Japanese sequences.
Oh, so all the sequences are Japanese.
Do you ever notice how the film quality was distinctly different?
As a kid, well, this was SD too. You don't notice that stuff.
Watch it again. It will still be an SD on YouTube. Watch it again. It is very noticeable. It looks distinctly different. I remember for a long time wondering why. I mean, it just bothered me. In the back of my head, it never really was like, oh man, but it bugged me. I'm like, something's different. It didn't really feel like they were there, and it's because they weren't. They were overdubbed on top of these faceless characters.
I guess that makes it really. Was Power Rangers the same too?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I believe VR Troopers as well. I think that whole take a look. It's pretty neat.
Just blew my mind.
Do what I can.
I'm gonna have to watch the Beetleborgs tonight while I'm editing the show.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably join you at least for a little bit and check out some of that.
Crazy. So did you actually get a picture with George Takei?
I didn't. They were, I want to say something like $60 for an autograph and a photo.
What?
And it was a really big line. I was like, nah. One of Becky's favorite characters from Buffy, or the actress that played one of her favorite characters from Buffy, was there. So she got her signature. She was very excited. So that was really cool. It was a great time. Becky and I only went for the one day on Saturday. Our friends John and Abby, they went all 3 days, and they saw some other really cool stuff. So definitely looking forward to going back next year. It's just a good time.
That's cool. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to go just to people. Now, one last question before we move on. Well, I'd also like to go before just to people watch. But you did say that you suited up.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't necessarily. That was more of a turn of phrase there. Damn. Maybe more likely, yeah. Maybe next year. Maybe next year, especially if we are going to be presenting a table and or a panel. So I've been thinking about that. I've been brainstorming and whatnot, but nothing yet.
Okay. There is TMS has a guest that they always talk to that does a lot of that stuff. So
Bill Duran.
Yes.
Yeah, Punished Props. He's very knowledgeable and he does extremely good work. And he shows everyone how he does it. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a lot of videos. He's got a lot of how-tos. Really great guy. He does commission work. So check it out. Punishedprops.com.
Look at you.
Right? You didn't see that coming.
I didn't. That was smooth. I listen to so many podcasts. I watch so much TV. If I listen to music, it's like the second someone asks me a name of someone, if it's not the host, I have zero idea.
There's a podcast I listen to on the regular called the Giant Bombcast. Video games mostly, but mostly not. You know, that kind of show.
Yep.
Wonderful. Fantastic show. There are 4 regular hosts, and it took me about a year to actually get all their names right. I don't know why. At top of every goddamn show, they're like, is Brad Shoemaker, is Jason Istreicher. Like, they're going through the whole role, and it's not like their voices sound different from week to week. I just never pay attention. I need a face.
That doesn't help me either. So, I figure we move on to some news. Have you read the story about Cecil the lion?
I did, yeah. I'm generally trying to be careful about reading a single source for anything. So the one article I read in CNN talked about this dentist who went on a commissioned safari. His trackers took him to an area. They took him to a lion. He hunted it. He killed it. And then later they discovered several things. One is that it was a prided lion of a national park in Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. He wasn't supposed to be killed. They claimed that they lured him off the reservation, that he shot him with his bow and arrow and spent the next 40 hours tracking him while it suffered before killing it. So the whole thing was supposedly very illegal, and supposedly he had no idea. Those are what they presented as facts, but they also talked about other cases where he has illegally hunted, falsified documents for hunting permits, etc. So he kind of sounds like a scummy dude. He's a dentist out in Minnesota, I think.
Minnesota, eh?
Yeah. It kind of sounds like a scummy prick. And I don't want anyone to think I'm making a commentary on hunting. I absolutely believe that there is a place for it in the conservation of wildlife. But what he did, it seems wrong. Whether he knowingly did it or not, I think is up at debate. But it's sad. It's really sad. It's like if somebody came and actually killed Mickey Mouse. I don't know, right? It's bad.
Absolutely.
This was an important animal for these people, and he just went and decided to kill it.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, it's so sad, especially since it was one of the pride of the not the jungle, but the reservation. And you read this, what's going to happen is, he's got so many cubs because he's the
alpha.
He's the alpha. What's the dad's name in Lion King?
Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Okay.
There we go. So he was the Mufasa of Zimbabwe conservation, and then he gets lured off, killed, and this next lion in line is gonna kill all of his cubs because he wants to get his own bloodline in there. It's just so crazy. I mean,
well, to make matters worse, so he wants to keep. Generally, this is the way it works. The next oldest in line will kill all the other cubs so that he can impregnate all the women and enhance his bloodline. But then, not only will he kill most of the cubs, but then most of the lionesses will probably get hurt or killed trying to protect the cubs. So killing this one lion like that could effectively wipe out a large portion of the population of lions on this reservation, which is sad. But then I also wonder what happens when Cecil dies of natural causes. I mean, I get it. It stinks, but he's going to die eventually. And I don't think these lions are really discriminating between whether he died by the hands of another or natural causes or what. So, I mean, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But like I said, I only saw that one source, so I can't put too much judgment on it other than to say it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. The lions only live 10 to 14 years, and he was 13 years old.
Yeah, that's right. He was an older lion as well.
Yeah. I thought they would have lived longer.
Speaking of lions, this is completely unrelated to Cecil himself. Have you ever heard of the Rhodesian Ridgeback? It's a type of dog. They're known as the lion hunting dog because they were born and bred to chase lions down and keep the lion at bay until their master can catch up and then take the lion down. They were actually born and bred to hunt lions.
Holy cow!
I actually met one or two at the dog park over the last few years. They're beautiful creatures. They're really interesting dogs.
And their backs are crazy.
Yeah. But they take it seems at least the ones that were there take an extra special hand in training because of their natural disposition. So they seem like really cool dogs, but man, they're really cool dogs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The lion hunting dog, the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Oh, wow, that's a cool looking dog. It almost looks like I don't know dog, so I couldn't even tell you.
It almost looks like a dog.
Yeah, it does look like a dog.
If you squint your eyes real tight, look real close. Yeah,
that's a dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sad, but I myself, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm pro hunting because I've never gone hunting, but I understand the enjoyment of it. And I also know that there's certain, I'll call them reservations, where people actually breed wildlife so they can be hunted. So they're really not even in the wild. So if the hunter did think that's what he was getting into, I know he has a history of other things, but if it was someone's first time, I could see how that can definitely be confused, and you don't know what you're getting into when you go to some of these places either. If they promise you one thing and you're trusting what they say.
And then on the other hand, the article painted him as an experienced hunter. This was not the first time he's done anything like this.
Right.
So the chances that he didn't know what he was doing are a lot lower. It's entirely likely that he knew exactly what was going on, and he just figured, well, I can play dumb here and get away with it. And so, again, that's me playing the other side. I don't know enough of the facts to make the judgment call, but to say that it's sad.
Yeah, it is. Have you ever gone hunting?
No. I don't know if I'd have the constitution for it.
I don't know if I would either.
I imagine if needed to hunt to live would be one thing. And again, I absolutely understand the importance of it in maintaining a population, especially in areas like this where we have tons of deer, etc. But personally, I don't know if I would enjoy it. And I know a lot of people find the enjoyment not necessarily in the final kill, but in the actual hunt. And I could see that, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, I probably agree. Most hunting I've done is fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Anyway. I'm an indoorsman.
I like that. That's a good one.
Thanks.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, I haven't been hunting, but I have been watching a new show.
Okay, so this has been teased for what, a week now at least?
A handful of days. I want to say a week, but maybe close to a week now.
All right, so you've been watching a new show. I've been dying for you to tell me what it is and what you think.
All right. First, I will tell you what it's not.
Okay, I can tell you what it's not. It is not Battlestar Galactica. Of course it's not. Of course it's not, because why would you want to watch that?
I'm getting closer to it, though.
Sure.
I wanted to finish this one because it's only one season, so I can get it done and then move on.
Is it Daredevil?
Nope, not Daredevil.
Have you seen Daredevil?
I have not seen Daredevil yet.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
I've heard good things about it, and I've also heard Netflix's and Marvel's ideas for the future and everything that's going to be going on with it, which sounds really awesome. So I do want to get into it.
And it's brutal too. It's pretty graphic at times, but it's very good. I enjoyed it. Okay, all right. I took you off track. Still dying to know. Firefly. Okay. All right. So that's it's okay that you put all those others aside. How far into this are you?
I am a third of the way in. I finished episode 4 today.
Okay. Very good. Yes, that is in the top 5. Probably top 5 shows for me.
Top 5 ever?
Probably. Very much like that show. So did you start? You started with the show itself, right? You haven't gone to the film yet?
No, I started because I kind of trying to follow chronologically.
Well,
the film came after, right?
Yes, it did. Absolutely. Anybody watching, go onto Netflix or get the DVDs, watch them in order, then watch Serenity. Do you know much about the history of the show? Outside of the lore of the show itself?
Not too much. Please tell if you know it.
So the little I know is this is one of those often mishandled shows that Fox blundered. Maybe I'm giving a little too much emphasis there, but it's very upsetting to a lot of fans. The first episode you watched was most likely the pilot, right? Hour and a half long episode or so.
Yep.
That was the third episode they aired. They aired the first handful of episodes in all kinds of weird order. So people are watching it. It didn't make sense.
Well, that's what I'm kind of figuring, but I don't understand how the pilot would work as a third episode, though.
It doesn't. That's the problem. So,
but they aired the pilot as the third episode.
Yes. So they aired episode 2 and then 4 and then 1 and then 3 or something like that. It was some jacked up order. Just made no sense, and it made it difficult for people to kind of get into. They had a really poor time slot. There were any number of things that they did poorly with this show. Didn't give it a fair shake. And because they weren't getting people watching it, they finally canceled it. And you can understand why when it's bungled so poorly. So the fans were so upset that they petitioned and they fought and they screamed. They made all sorts of noise, and they were able to get Joss Whedon enough money to make the movie. And it's teased far too often that there's another season. 2 years ago, Netflix fucked with every single Firefly fan by posting up the season 1 of Netflix, but they put the new episodes banner on it.
Oh, no way.
Bullshit. Pissed everybody off.
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. And then something like that happened again recently. It comes up every once in a while because some troll out there knows that there are countless incredibly devoted fans to the show who will just give their left leg and their mother for a new season of the show. And it's probably never going to happen. But the good news is when you finish Serenity, when you're through all of that, there's more lore out there. There's a ton of comic books you can read and yada, yada, yada. So I talked too much. I'm sorry. Tell me, what do you think? You're 4 episodes in.
So I watched the first episode. That was the hour and a half. And then I'm on
Bush Test, right? And then the train job? Or do I have it backward?
Let me check Netflix. Or no, hold on.
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
It's a good show. It's a good show. I have
I enjoy it. I'll tell you what, though, and this is my issue with watching some of the older shows that have a lot of hype to them, is you hear so much hype that it doesn't always live up to it because you're expecting so much.
And you know what? That's probably okay because that'll temper your expectations. And I think by the time you get through the end of the movie, you'll be back with us. I think it's okay that you temper that a little bit. But tell me that when the last episode or when you finish the movie, tell me you don't want to go back and rewatch it all. Okay. That'll be the interesting take. Okay. I think it's okay to enter it a little cautious. You always should, especially with something that's got this much reference. But, man, I hope you like it. It's really good.
All right. So the way I'm watching it through Amazon.
Okay.
The first episode was hour and a half, Serenity, then The Train Job.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then Bushwhacked.
Then it's Bushwhacked.
I've finished Shindig, where they go to that party and have that duel.
Yes, I love that episode. So that's the problem I have with the show. Whenever I try and watch it with someone, every time the next episode comes up, I go, "Oh my god, I love this episode." It's good. It's really good. I
wasn't sold at first. But I think that goes with a lot of the hype that goes behind it. Like
absolutely
another show that I haven't watched, but my brother has, and he's kind of told me the same thing. And maybe he can chime in about it with a an email and get your point of view on it. Not mine because I haven't watched it yet. Is The Wire?
Oh, that's a good one.
So many people hyped it up, and you go into it thinking it's going to be the greatest show ever, and you watch it and it gets knocked down a little bit because you're expecting so much more.
That's exactly what happened to me too. Everybody's, "Oh, The Wire's so good, so good." Started watching it, and I said, "What's the big deal?" I liked it, but I was kind of like, I'll just watch one more and see what's happening next. And that happens.
Hey, babe, come say hi on the podcast. No.
Oh,
my wife just scared the shit out of me.
Oh, I saw you jumping.
Whoa, Jesus. What's up, babe?
Hi.
I miss you. Can you just hold on one second, Ben. We'll have to cut this out.
Can you pause the recording?
The Decibels just came over and they said that Josh was throwing rocks at their driveway, and my Decibel was like yelling, and I said, "Okay, that's enough. I will parent my child." And they're like, "Tyler can't come outside without being harassed, and Josh is ganging up on him, and he doesn't want him near him." And honestly, they both came over, and here I am with Josh, and they're being ambushed, and Josh is saying, "No, he didn't." And they're sitting there, saying, "Yes, you did." And just like I said, well, okay, yesterday, perfect example. I was here, and I heard Josh politely say to him, "Please, can you leave?" And he wouldn't leave. And they're like, "Well, why did you tell him to leave?"
Do you want me to come?
Yes, I would like to go over there, because I literally feel ambushed. Okay. Literally, can you just please put it on? Yeah. I'm shaking. I feel ambushed. Seriously.
Yeah. Hey, if you could keep this going, I'll cut it out after, and then we can finish up.
Sure.
All right. I gotta go take care of son.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye, Eddie. I love you. I hope you have fun in your home forever and ever. Good. You know that he'll actually love her because that's what he was bred to do. He was very potent. Bye.
in. Hey guys, had a little bit of a snafu, but we are back. Unfortunately, I think Koala went to sleep, so it looks like it's just me. We're gonna try something a little different here. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't even know if he's available. We're gonna call the biggest fan of the show, Ryan, to see if he wants to join the final little bit end of our podcast. I don't even know where we were before, so again, I apologize. It's probably been like, what do you think, Vin? Oh, wait, he's not there. It's probably been like a good hour. Had to take care of a little situation, but everything is resolved. So I think that I'm going to give it a try. If it doesn't work, then we will end the show and continue it a different day just to finish off. If it does work, then we'll just finish with a different host, different co-host, what would you call that? A different calling you a guest co-host, a guest host, a guest co-star, just a guest, you know. So we were talking about Firefly, had some good stuff on that for the pod. Please join. You know what? It is really hard to do a show by yourself. Like for the people who do podcasts by themselves, you know, I give them credit because just talking by yourself is like, wow, man. So I don't even know what's going to happen here. Some of my things that I am doing though is, you know, I'm watching Firefly. I'm actually applying for a few jobs. Had an interview last week. I think it went okay. Have another one next week. Hopefully we'll have a few more coming up. Looking to find a new job. I don't know what's going to happen with it. Could be good, could be bad. I just think it's time for a change. I've been in my current position for like I think almost 4+ years, maybe 5 years now. It's been a long time. So it's time for a change, time to grow. It's time to help another group. Just looking forward to I wonder if we could get my brother. I mean, geez. Anyways, let's see if I can do some YouTube stuff. I don't think anything's going to work. I may cut out this whole entire section because nothing will work. But we're going to find out. Let's see. We go some YouTube. So one of my favorite YouTube channels that I really do enjoy is Dude Perfect. It's basically 5 college friends started recording these trick shot videos. And what they do is they're just making insane shots, basketball shots. They'll do it from like a top of a stadium, literally 400 feet down, bam, nothing but net. It's insane. And they have a great attitude. They're like, they make it and they're like, oh, yeah. You know, they have great energy. They play good music behind their things. They make so much. I really wish I could have thought of something like that. So let's see. I'm going to try calling Ryan on the phone. If he does it, actually, no, that won't work. So we're going to give a quick call on speaker. We'll see what happens. Where is Ryan Merritt? There he is. Okay, we're going to call him. Here we go. It's on speaker so you guys could hear it. It's ringing. Still ringing.
Forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 3, 1, 3.
I guess I'll stop it there. Unfortunately, he's not available for the call. I should ask the wife down. Maybe we can have a little podcast with her, but I don't think she'd be too interested. So I think we're just going to end it here. All this is going to get cut most likely, but maybe I'll keep it in, or maybe I'll make it a half episode for just episode 10 and a half, something in between. But while we're on, a lot of my favorite – YouTube is so awesome. There's so much on there. You know, some of my favorite things I like to follow. Dude Perfect, amazing. A lot of fun, cool stuff. They do insane stuff. ERB, Epic Rap Battle. My favorite one was the Ghostbusters one. Some of the early ones are a lot better. I think they're starting to reach a little much now. Lewis and Clark versus Bill and Ted, that one was pretty good. But like Eastern Philosophers versus Western Philosophers, I can't even say that, blah, blah, blah. So, I like their stuff, but some of it, I think they're not as good as they used to be. What are some? A huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel. So I follow him. I do like Jimmy Fallon. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but he posts some stuff every once in a while that I'll really enjoy. One I recommend is Daniel Radcliffe raps Blackalicious Alphabet. That was insane. What's some other stuff that I enjoy? Some podcasts that I really like to listen to. There's some good stuff out there that I enjoy a lot. One of them is The Morning Stream. Scott Johnson, Brian Ibbett. They talk about a lot of current geeky stuff. They have, as lame as it sounds, they have what would you call that? Trek nerd question of the day kind of thing. Daryl, he's a funny guy though. At first I wasn't a huge fan of him. He's like, wow, this guy's a huge geek and knows a lot about Star Trek. Not into it myself, but it's a fun little segment they have. They go over news of the day. They go over a whole lot of other stuff. What they have and something that we mentioned earlier in this episode was they have so many different guests. They have Bill. I think that Vince said it was Bill Duran. He does a whole lot of cosplay costumes and stuff that he makes. Another one of my favorite segments is called Therapy Thursday. It is really it's really good. I mean, it's helped me a lot. There are some things not a huge fan of or don't affect me. There's other things that, you know, they talk about stuff and you're like, wow, I've never thought about it that way. For instance, in the last episode I listened to, they had something regarding, a parent. He's got 2 kids. One of them is going into kindergarten or something like that, and he's really worried on, since he's become a parent, how emotional he's become with everything and dealing with everything. And I totally get that because I've become an emotional wreck at times ever since I became a parent. You know, Josh, Lindsay, and I went to go see Toy Story 3, and I love all the Toy Story movies. But that final sequence where they're possibly getting burned up by the fire and everything else, and I was a bawling wreck. I just could not contain myself. I am so happy that they had 3D glasses to somewhat cover up the tears that were falling out of my face. It was just, I love that movie though. It was amazing. And, you know, Lindsay and I were watching the ESPYs the other night. And, you know, one of the things that came up was, I believe her name is Lauryn Hill. She had cancer. She had a dream of always playing basketball in, you know, for a team. And she made the team. Her college basketball team, and when she made it, she found, for freak's sake, I'm getting chills right now. I mean, I've become an emotional wreck at times ever since becoming a kid, having kids, becoming a parent, because, you know, this girl, so strong, so much integrity behind her, so everything. She was just amazing. And you know, she had cancer. Her dream was to play basketball. She fought for her dream. She the coach started her for a game, and she played. She made a shot. She did amazing. And, 2 weeks later, she passed away. But she left this world living her dream and spreading the word about her cancer and making a difference. And it's just, I saw that story and holy cow, I was, again, I look over at Lindsay and I feel like I don't even know what I feel. It's just, sports always has a special place in my heart. I mean, whether it starts with coaching, whether it starts with playing, whether it starts with watching, I think sports is very important. I really believe that everyone in some way or some capacity should be involved with sports because and there are more sports that I personally believe that would be better than other sports. I think team sports are huge. That includes football, lacrosse, basketball to an extent. Basketball has a little bit more of a superstar feel than the other sports, just from the fact that it's only 5 guys. You can literally win every game if you have one guy. But you could also win every game if you have 5 mediocre guys and they work well as a team. Hockey's another one. Baseball, I'm back and forth on baseball. Is it a team sport? Yes, but it's a very individual sport. There's not much work as a team. At least I'm saying that from a fan's point of view. Maybe one day I can call in my brother's friend Sal Romano, who actually plays for the Cincinnati Reds organization in the minor leagues. And, maybe he could give me a different feel. But push comes to shove, it comes down to if you have a good pitcher. If the pitcher's pitching well, no one in the field has to do anything else. But if the pitcher's pitching pretty well, they're getting hits, then you got guys making plays in the outfield, but they're making plays by themselves. So I'm back and forth on that from a baseball standpoint. Some other sports that I'm for, I can't really think of any right now. My eyes have opened a lot more. Soccer's a good one. I grew up hating soccer. It was viewed as, growing up in my family, is viewed as soccer's a baby sport. At the children's level, it kind of is, I think, as my brother Dan will say this, the wussification of America. Everyone gets a trophy. Scores aren't kept. There's a lot going on that, scores need to be. I mean, I get T-ball, whatever. Anything after that, you keep a score. Even T-ball, the kids know the score. Why not keep it? You have a winner, you're going to lose. You're going to strike out. You're going to not catch the ball. You don't have to be perfect, but playing a sport is going to make you a better person. So Lindsay doesn't fully know it yet, but Amelia's totally playing soccer once she's old enough, and she's going to kick the crap out of girls and not take shit from anybody, excuse my language, because she is a little animal. But that's my view on sports. Podcast started talking about Therapy Thursday, and then how did I even get into that rant? That is freaking insane. So yeah, I stink with silences. That's one thing I need to work on as a podcaster is I don't need to say I could just wait a second, catch my breath, let the anticipation come, and then come up with another topic. I just did it again. Current Geek is also in the same line as TMS. Same guy, Scott Johnson. He actually is a artist, and he quit his job and became a full-time podcaster and artist, and obviously he's doing pretty well because he's been doing it for I think like 6 or 7 years now. So good for him. Another huge podcast that I'm a fan of is Star Talk. It was mentioned in one of our early episodes, and I was a huge fan of it. It's with Neil Tyson deGrasse, and he just talks about with different scientists and stars and planets, and you can learn a lot of information on it. And I'm really happy that I found it because I feel like it's opened up my eyes with a lot. Highly recommend, and I've talked about it before, but highly recommend watching Cosmos. Space is awesome. Space is scary, but it's amazing, and it's the unknown. And as we can learn so much from it, and the people who say that, NASA's a waste of money and, all this other stuff that they just have no idea. It's like 0.5% of the national budget gets supported to NASA. That's literally $3 out of your everyone's taxes. That's it. That's nothing. Nothing. And the things that they're doing could literally change the world, change history. It's absolutely so fascinating. And this whole Pluto exploration is what can I say about it? It's so fascinating. The thing launched, I think, in 2003. It's been 12 years, and here we are 3 billion miles away, and we're taking pictures and sending them back. And the even crazier thing is the chip that they use to power it is the chip from the PlayStation 1. And just to give everyone an idea, the PlayStation 1 came out in 1995. That technology, when it launched, was already 7 years old. Now, I know why they do what they do is they do it to test. They want to use proven technology, and they want to use something that they know is going to last, and the PlayStation 1 obviously lasted. But, that's insane. The PlayStation 1 technology is flying around freaking Pluto right now. It's so amazing. The pictures that they come back with is just so fascinating. I can't wait, and I hope I'm alive until when we find life on another planet. I mean, it's obviously out there. It's coming at some point in the near future. It just really fascinates me, and it's so. I feel smarter when I'm done listening to it. Let's see. I'll wrap it up soon. The Chive. I listen to the Chive podcast. For those of you who don't know, I think I'll probably talk about it in a future episode, but the Chive is an amazing website. I don't know how I would explain it. They have funny stuff, which I really enjoy the most. They have girls, which honestly, I have a hot wife. I do, and I love her, and it doesn't really do much for me. The girls that they post, so I kind of, as weird as it sounds, skips over them. And then they do a lot of stuff with charity. So, and a charity, and also they'll post like really intellectual stuff on their website or app. So, one day you'll be looking at something really funny, like, oh my God, that's insane. Another day you'll see all sorts of facts about Elon Musk that you didn't even know were, a thing. When he first started out, when he started his first company, he figured out a way to live off of $1 a day. So he knows that he can always find $1. And if that's the case, find $1. He doesn't have to have a job. And he basically it didn't matter what he did. And if he failed, it was fine because he could live off of $1 a day. And he took those chances, and he's become one of the most powerful men in the world because he took the chances and he believed in himself, and he did amazing things, and he's still doing amazing things. Whether it's Tesla, SpaceX, Solar City, it's just all of it is so amazing. And he also started PayPal, I believe. So round of applause to him. Like, seriously, amazing, smart, intellectual man who has changed the world as we know it. So Chive, pretty good podcast. Awesome website / app. Highly recommend it. Few more I listen to. Tell It Anyway. They have a theme for the day, and they tell stories in the past. Kind of a little like what Vin and I do, but we don't do themes. We'll just bring up things I remember. Hypothetical Help. I'm back and forth on that, but that's also by the guy on TMS. Have people call in, ask questions. They give their funny antics to it, and it's good, but you also get some good information out of it. And also, as you're listening to it, you're like, dude, why is this guy doing this? He should do this. And then they end up agreeing with you, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. And that kind of sums it up. I'm also huge fan of Koala and the Root. So I think that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. I don't even know how long I talked. Probably going to post this just to see how it goes, how it went, get some feedbacks on my thoughts, opinions. I recorded it, might as well post it. Vin and I will indeed we will repost the repost. We will finish the episode we started, and we will continue. We'll close that off, and then we'll have another episode after that. So that pretty much sums it up. But since I am by myself, there is one last thing. Hold on, let me take a sip here. One more sip. Okay. I was just about to sign off, and I look at the reflection on my wall, and I see a what are these called? I see a fat head. My man Rob Gronkowski. And it reminds me of Tom Brady. And we had a conversation as a podcast about the whole Deflategate and the fact that Vin heard about it. And if Vin hears about it, it's huge news because it's huge news. So recently, Deflategate was the sentence was handed down. They went through the arbitration, and it was handed down. So Roger Goodell held up the suspension at 4 games, which I think is complete and utter bullshit. I think Roger Goodell is honestly trying to save his job, and I don't think he has a leg to stand on. How can I word this? He's an idiot. He's not consistent. Tom Brady did not deflate any balls. You have no proof on it. Zero freaking proof. None. Absolutely nothing. He didn't hand over his phone. You know what? You didn't have a subpoena. He doesn't have to. He could have willingly did it. He didn't want to do it. He didn't. Brett Favre didn't hand over his phone. You only fined him $50,000. Not Minnesota. Atlanta Falcons. They pumped in crowd noise over 2 years and lost a 5th-round draft pick. I think that 2 years of a difference makes a whole lot more impact than 1/2 in one game. You don't even have freaking rules and standardization for refs to keep track of the balls. You don't. Nothing. If you're going to run a sting operation, make sure that, hey, measure this ball, write down what the PSI is, because we're going to measure it at halftime to see if anything changed. You didn't do shit. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Seriously, it just boggles my freaking mind here. Whether the guy did it or didn't do it, you don't have any evidence on him doing it. You're going to suspend him 4 games. 4 games. For just possibly knowing something? Possibly knowing something? Seriously? That's freaking bullcrap. It makes me so sick to my stomach that this stuff is happening. Because honestly, if this was any other team, it would have been swept under the rug. But because it's the Patriots, it's the end of the freaking world. It is. And it's just so annoying. You know what? What's going to happen is, yeah, you just pissed off the wrong people. And those people you pissed off, they're going to win the Super Bowl again. Measure the balls all you want, because it doesn't freaking matter. He's going to break a record. He's going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to do he's going to do it again. He is. You don't want to play pissed off Tom Brady. You don't. You don't want to play pissed off Bill Belichick. You don't. There's a reason why they've been the most consistent team in the NFL. There's a reason why they're the most hated team in the NFL, because they win. And I don't care what people say. They do it the right way. Yeah, you're going to talk about Spygate. You know what? It became illegal that year. He got caught doing it. It didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. And you look at Tom Brady, man, he's a model citizen. He's done everything. He's made so much money for the league. So much money for the league. He's done everything in his power for the Patriots. And I really wish Bob Kraft didn't back down when he backed down. Because if he did, I think it would have brought up a lot more issues, and I think things possibly would have went differently. But now that it went this way, he's in complete FU mode, and screw Roger Goodell. I wouldn't be surprised if by this time next year there's a new NFL commissioner. I want it. It's just insane. And Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all. He's the GOAT. And for those of you who don't know, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. 4 Super Bowls. Yeah, he had a little bit of span, but you know what? He's 2 catches away from having 6 Super Bowls. 6. Best quarterback ever. Best quarterback in the league. No one's going to stop him. They're not. Mark my words, the Patriots will win the Super Bowl this year. And it's because of Roger Goodell and all this crap that's going on right now. Complete FU mode. They will not stop it. I would not be surprised if there's a whole bunch of blowouts coming this year. But that's my opinion on that. And it's just absolutely insane to me that, these things, it's just being upheld with I understand he didn't hand over the phone. He doesn't have to hand over the phone. You asked him to. He didn't want to. You know what? The NFL is leak central. Seriously. Everything that goes in there comes out through a reporter with an anonymous source, which is fine. But if you are a celebrity and you're married to a celebrity and you also have 3 kids with that celebrity wife, I'm not handing over my phone to someone who's going to leak something. I'm controlling what I'm controlling. Innocent until proven guilty. You have not proved anything. Nothing. Seriously, absolutely not. You proved that he broke his phone, which is standard practice for a lot of people, a lot of celebrities or a lot of superstars. That gets into the wrong hands, you're done. I don't know. I'm just so infuriated by it. I personally think that it's going to go to federal court and it's going to be dropped due to some issues with how things were worded. I know the NFL did word it very carefully, and I understand why, and it makes sense. But I still think there are some loopholes which will help alleviate and exonerate Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. Honestly, I'd marry him. He's a good-looking dude, greatest quarterback of all time. And they got nothing. They have no proof that he did anything. They're just saying that he might have did it. And honestly, a 4-game suspension for that is ridiculous. If you want to fine him $50,000, $500,000, fine him. But you have no proof that he did anything wrong. You have no proof that he approved anything. You're just saying he might have done it. You don't have anything. Nothing. You read all the text messages with the people he would have talked to about it. Nothing. Zippo. Zilch. Nada. So that's my opinion on it. Huge Patriots fan, as you do know. But, again, no evidence. So I think this is going to wrap it up for me. This was the Jason Only podcast. I plan to finish with Vin on another night for the podcast that we started recording earlier. So, again, please email the show. Let us know what you think. We're trying to get on a schedule where we are doing this once a week. We both have families, though, so it does get a little hard. When you're done with a busy day cooking, it's hard to get a show prepped. So, let us know what you think. Let us maybe think of some segments that you might want to talk about. We have some stuff that we already talk about, but we'd love to hear your opinion on everything that you guys like about the show, dislike about the show. So please write in. Let us know what you think. That's going to wrap it up for me, guys. It's been a pleasure having a nice one-on-one with you. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to finishing our show that we posted. And I love you guys. Seriously, you guys rock. Thanks for everything you do. That's going to be it. Have a great night. And if you have any questions, email the show, comments, anything, pictures. koalaandtheroot@gmail.com. Again, koalaandtheroot@gmail.com. Check us out. Tell your friends. See you in the next life, Jack.